channel. Life Speaking Food, good food for every soul and a word for every heart. Hey, it's Chef Dolores. It's been a while. Yes, it's been a while. So, today we're making, drum roll, fried green tomatoes. That's right. So, I never had fried green tomatoes growing up in the North. So, the first time I tried it, I was here in North Carolina. And I must say, I really enjoyed it. It was so good. And there are so many different things you can add to make the fried green tomatoes appetizer complete. So that is what we're making today. So let me talk just briefly because I know y'all want to get the cooking, getting in the kitchen. So it's so important when you go get tomatoes, especially green tomatoes, make sure it is in season. So this is the perfect time. It is now July. This is the perfect time to go to the farmer's market. I love going to the farmer's market to get farm to table different things. I just love to cook. I love going to the farmer's market. I get edible flowers, all these different things. But the most important thing about a green tomato, it has to be firm. So important. You don't want to get one really soft. It has to be firm. Firm. It almost feels like an apple, like a green apple. That's what it feels like. So that's important. Also, when you do fried green tomatoes, you don't want to just have fried tomatoes on a plate. That doesn't make sense. So, what we call in culinary world accoutrements. So, what those things are things that go along with the meal that complement the main dish. So, like I said, we're making fried green tomatoes. So, we're going to make two accoutrements with it. And I always love aiolis. So, aioli is really just the base of it is a mayo, and you can make an aioli herb and garlic. I said gerb and garlic together. That does make sense. But anyway, that. It's very simple. You guys will see how I do it. It's not complicated. So aiolis to me are really just flavored mayo. That's all it is to me. But what makes it taste so good, every ingredients matter. Remember we talked about that? So I'm making a lemon garlic herb aioli. So it's going to have fresh lemon juice. It's going to have garlic that I'm going to roast and I'm going to mince up really small. And it is so important to have some sort of herb. So I'm using flat parsley because it has more flavor. So if every ingredient matters, every time you add it to the base, which is the mayo, that's what we're speaking of, aioli. Every ingredient matters and it builds upon flavors. So like I said before, build upon flavors. So that is why we're going to make an aioli. It would definitely go very well with those green tomatoes. Then we're going to make a bacon jam. I don't know if you guys ever had bacon jam, but it's really just bacon and some maple syrup, brown sugar, some vinegar, some apple cider vinegar, balsamic vinegar, and guess what else I'm putting in there? I got some shallots and I got some bourbon. Yes. So we're going to use bourbon in here. So whenever you use alcohol, make sure you cook it down to at least 80 to 90% to get the alcohol off of it, but it still leaves this flavor. So awesome. So those are the two accoutrements that we're going to make that's going to go along with our fried green tomatoes. You guys will hear me talk as I go along. I am so glad to be back, and I hope that I did not lose you guys. I haven't gone nowhere. I am back. So let's get in the kitchen. Let's make some fried green tomatoes. Y'all ready? Let's go. Okay, you guys, so these are the ingredients for one of the accoutrements that would accompany the main dish. And we're going to make a garlic herb aioli. So we have our mayo, our lemon, our flat parsley, which has more flavor. I had roasted some garlic. I chopped them up fine. And I have some mustard, Dijon mustard, and a little bit of seasoning of coarse pepper and salt. It's very simple. It's not easy, not hard at all. So, whichever order you want to follow, we're going to put all of this in there. So I'm squeezing the lemon in the palm of my hand, just in case there's any seeds in here. So that's our lemon, parsley, and garlic in here. It's so important to roast your garlic. It releases more flavor. Then we're going to take here mustard and that seasoning. So really, aioli is really just a seasoned mayo. Once you mix it all together, we're going to wrap it up and we're going to put it in the refrigerator. Now see, I didn't do any cooking or anything here. I'm going to squeeze a little bit more of this lemon in there. There we go, you guys. Got a little lemon seed. Got a seed in there. I don't want it in there. I don't want it in there. Okay, we'll get that out of there. Okay, so look at that. Very simple. Okay, we're going to wrap this up, put this in the refrigerator, and we'll start with our next accoutrement. Okay, you guys, stand by. Okay, so this is the second accoutrement that we're going to make that's going to accompany the fried green tomatoes. Could you guys guess what this is just by looking at it? Think about it. Think about it. Okay, time's up. So we are making bacon jam. So I never buy bacon in a package. I go to a butcher or like the farmer's market, fresh market, the butcher shop, Whole Foods. But anyhow, this is a special bacon they have. It's called apple pie bacon. You see how we have more meat than we do fat? That's the purpose. And then, of course, we have our shallots. I like the way shallots taste when I make bacon jam. So I always use shallots. Some people they will use onions, but I'm using shallots. And then I have some brown sugar here, and we have some maple syrup. We have some coffee, and we have balsamic vinegar, and we have apple cider vinegar, and this is it, the bourbon. This is what we're going to use. We're going to use all of this. But the first thing we're going to do, as you can see, I have the bacon here. It is on a sheet pan. I want to make sure this bacon get nice and crispy. Even the little fat parts there, I want those to be nice and crispy. And then we're going to chop all this up, and then we're going to put it together in the food processor. So like now we're going to go and put the bacon in the oven on 400 degrees until it gets nice and crispy. Okay, so let's go do that. You guys stay tuned. You see the bacon is nice and crispy. So we're going to go ahead and put everything together. This is how you want your bacon to look. Nice and crispy. So let's get this all chopped up and go from there. I used the grease that was left for the bacon that we cooked. We're going to just put those shallots in there. We're going to get them caramelized. And then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. So spread these out a little bit. So caramelization is so important because when you cook vegetables, but not overcook them, but these we are going to overcook, it actually releases more flavor. So that is to go. We're going to caramelize these and we'll add the rest of the ingredients in a bit. So you guys stay tuned. We'll come back. Let's see how this looks. Okay, look at the caramelization. It is ready now. I know you guys probably thinking, well, those don't look like they chopped evenly. If I was doing this for presentation or want all my ingredients to cook evenly, I would definitely do that. But we are not doing that. So we're going to go ahead, no special order. Have the balsamic vinegar. Ooh, there we go. We have the brown sugar. I got that in there. Y'all have to forgive me today. We have our coffee. Our maple syrup. We have our vinegar. We're going to stir that up. Oh, it smells so good. I wish you guys could smell it, but I know you can't smell it. So, next, we want to add the bourbon. The thing about when you adding a liquor to it, some people remove it from heat, but if I had like a gas stove, I would do that. We're putting all that in there, you guys. I mean, everything. Let's get liquored up. No, I'm just kidding. Make sure I got all my ingredients in there. Good. And we're going to have that bacon that I cut up all in there. That's it. I'm going to stir this up. We're going to let it decrease. So important to let this decrease. We want to get the alcohol out of there, but it's still going to have the flavor. We want to get the alcohol out of there. And whatever pieces of bacon that's pretty big that I didn't chop up, well, those will get chopped up in the food processor. Okay. We're going to let this just decrease. I'm going to turn it down. And we will see what it looks like when we put it on the plate. Okay, you guys, you see what it looks like? It's definitely decreased. Ooh, it smells so good. It smells so good. Okay, I know I can't sing, but anywho, let me move that plate. Oh, I am having a day. That tells you it's been a while, you guys. I miss y'all though. Anyway, let's get this into the blender, the processor. All right, let's go. Okay, let's get the blending. I want a rough chop. Well, that's it. I'm going to take it out. Okay, look. is the bacon jam. That is it. So now we have to get started on our fried green tomatoes. That's the main ingredient. Okay, you guys, so here is the breading station. Let me explain a little bit. So a breading station, you have your seasoned flour, and in here I made buttermilk, but I also put some flour in there as well. And here I have flour mixed with cornmeal and some seasoning, and there is seasoning in here as well. So I am using rice flour. And the reason why I'm using rice flour is because it doesn't absorb so much grease. So rice flour is really good. So if you guys ever had like chicken at a Chinese restaurant, chicken wings, they use rice flour. So it is more stronger than cornstarch. But it's so important that when you use it, that is seasoned. Okay, so this is seasoned. We have some buttermilk I made with almond milk and vinegar, and then I put some of the flour in there. And then we have our cornmeal and flour with some more seasoning in there. So texture is so important when you're doing a fried green tomato. So as you guys can see, I got these from the farmer's market right here. You see how that feels? It almost looks like an apple, right? But it's not. So I wanted to show you that. So I cut them, and you see how it holds the seeds and everything? It's nice and thick. It doesn't have to be too thick. We don't want the inside to be cooked so much. We just want to get a nice crust on the outside. And what I'm going to do this breading procedure, and then I'm going to let it rest in the refrigerator for a while before I even put it in the grease. So let's get started. And I'm going to use avocado oil as well for this. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. So I'm using one hand here to flour on both sides the tomato. Then I'm going to take my other hand and I'm going to put it in there, in the buttermilk. Flip it over, just like that. I'm going to take this, drop it in here. So with this dry hand, I'm going to, or with my spatula, I am going to coat it. Now, some people use breadcrumbs for this, and some people use panko breadcrumbs. One time I grated up some Roman noodles. I mean, it was very fine, you guys, really. And you couldn't even tell that it was Roman noodles. So, you see how that adhered to that? We're going to do the same thing with the other one. So, take this. Dry hand. That way you don't make a mess. I don't like messes. Like right now, just me turning this over like this and flour all over the place. So make sure you get it coated really well. We're going to drop it into the wet mixture. Now, I'm going to switch hands. This is my wet hand. And I'm going to take it into this cornmeal. It's very easy. This is really easy. You know, I never had this, like I said before, until I moved here. I mean, I've never even heard of fried green tomatoes. But I love them. I really do. They're so good. This is not a meal. A meal has to have a protein, right? So you can actually order this as an appetizer. Even though we have the accoutrements. It won't be a lot of that. It's just to top off the fried green tomato. That's it. So the reason I'm going to let mine sit a while in the refrigerator so it can kind of stick a little bit more. So when I get ready to drop them, and I won't be deep frying these, I am actually just going to put just a little avocado oil, not to cover the whole entire tomato. And there you go. And that is it. So let's get this in the refrigerator, you guys, and then let it rest for a while. And I'll meet you guys at my nice hot skillet with avocado oil. Let's go. I have my grease here. It's heating up. This is avocado oil I'm using because you can get a high temperature off of this one, as far as like 570. So avocado oil is the best oil that I use for my fried green tomatoes. You can use a sapphire oil. It's the same thing. You can get up to like 570. But a lot of people like to use canola oil. That goes to like 450. So we're going to go ahead and drop our fried green tomatoes here. It's sizzling. And you see how it coated the tomato very well. You let it sit in the refrigerator. I made this extra one here, you guys. So I'm going to use that to add a little height to the plate. So we're going to let this cook for a while. We're not going to disturb it. We're just going to let it cook. It's going to be nice and crunchy. We want to get a golden brown to this. So that's so important. You don't want to overcook it. So I would say once you get your grease up to the temperature that you want it to be, you definitely know that once you add anything to it, the temperature drops a little bit. So you want to get it a little bit higher. So this, like I said, avocado oil, it goes all the way up to like 520. That helps it not to burn. So even if I got my grease up to like 450, I'm still safe. And I can get some even colors on here. So we're going to go ahead and flip this over here. See there? And do the same thing to the other one. Oop, let me get that over. I didn't burn my hand. And this little one, like I said, I'm going to use that to give a little height to my plate underneath. So I made this extra one. You guys didn't see this, but I'll flip that one too. So we're going to let it cook on this side just until golden brown. And it all depends on what your outcome looks. Some people like theirs a little darker. I don't. I just like it to bounce off the plate. So I like a nice golden brown. I think for me, the darker it is, it sinks into the plate. And it depends on the color plate. So I'm going to use a beige plate color. So let this cook for a while and we will get these out and put them on the rack there. Okay. Okay, so you see how they're resting? You want to let any extra grease drain from there. It won't be a lot because I use rice flour. So it doesn't absorb a lot of the grease. But whatever you do, do not sit it directly on the paper towel. You have a little rack here, a paper towel underneath, just in case it drains. And as you can see, this one here is, ooh, look like it had a little bit more grease visible. But that is it, you guys. So stay tuned for the plating. They came out wonderful. Now let's see how they taste. Okay, you guys, this is it. Fried green tomatoes with bacon bourbon jam and a lemon garlic aioli. How wonderful is that? Hope you guys enjoy this. It is very easy to make. So, you can't just have fried green tomatoes. You have to make the appetizer pleasing. We have to add accoutrements. So, enjoy. Stay tuned, guys, for my spoken word. Me. Beneath my brown skin, my true beauty lies. My big smile is in my eyes. My heart carries love for all mankind. It takes the simple things to help me unwind. Being around children and cooking is where I like to spend most of my time. My words of expression seem strange to few, but wow, if they only knew. The truth of my kindness is pure, although there are so many things I endure. I'm called butterfly by a remarkable spirit that flows. He always knows where my mind goes.